Okay, got a lot of background noise today because the young lady of the house is weed whacking the edge of the porch in the front yard. But got a bit of a mess to clean up. I put stuff away. Had a sick day yesterday. Didn't accomplish anything except sleeping. So I'll clean this up and then I'll start on that shirt. Got everything put away to the best of my ability in the immediate. Well, to the immediate, not to the best of my ability, but as much as necessary. We're making another shirt. Another button down. This one's long sleeve. As one farm boy said to the other when they're really lonely, how are we going to fuck this pig? There's the start. I'll set you up here where you can see what's going on. Make sure you got a view of it. There we are. You can see the whole table from there. Well, most of it. Lovely pattern. The previous Hawaiian shirt was meant to be big and flowy and loose and oversized, which meant I didn't have to cut down the pattern at all. Just make it as big as it has to be, or as big as it is. This one, dress shirt, is going to be a little more fitted to the body. Now, I'm not making a fully fitted shirt. That would just suck. But I am fitting this the best I can. Which means take the same pieces, the previous one, and this one I'm using curved back. And the curve brings it in across the body. I'm going to be sizing these down depending on, depending on what size I need. To that end, I have to measure myself for it. Let's see what this is. That's the other sleeve. Not sure which of those to use. Thinking the longer one. So there's the sleeve pattern I'm using. There's a front pattern I'm going to use. This won't be a fitted per se, but it will be more fitted than the previous one after the measurements. Which collars are we going to use for this? And which yoke? Thinking this yoke. Yeah. So that one can go away. Collars are going to be the interesting bit. So I could use this one again. Or I have options. Oh, that's another yoke. The other options I have, so you can tell there's a bunch of different shirt patterns put in here. The other option I have is this one. No, that's more of a butterfly. Not too keen on it. So there's the pieces I'm going to use. Let's lay this out, see how it's going to go together. I'll do it facing you. Then I'll pick it up and show you. So, there's the back. Don't need that collar either, it's another set. There's a front. I'll put the yoke down first. As it says here, you add 2 inches, because that's the wraparound for the reinforcing plate. There's half the collar. The other half of the collar. There's one sleeve. They sit here for right now. So you can get the general look of where everything's going to go, size it's going to be. And once I have that marked out, I'll remeasure across my own measurements and I'll mark it on the fabric. So we'll start with the biggest one, which is going to be the back, this piece. I'll do the measurements and start marking stuff up. Okay, talk to you next time. Measured out all the individual pieces. I'm going to have to extend some of them, specifically the sleeves. I'm going to have to make a few inches longer. And the bottom of this back plate, I'm going to have to make a few inches longer. I'm also going to take out this curve because I am not as shapely as I once was. Starting to get a belly. Not big on it, but it means I can't wear a tightly fitted shirt, and I want to make it even. Turns out I'm the same measurement across here. I'm a little more at the hips, but I'm the same measurement across the belly as I am across the chest. So, yeah. I'm going to chalk this, and then everything will be fine. Okay. Let's get set back up here again. I got the first one chalked out. I'm going to cut it out. I'll show you how I'm cutting this out because it's a weird shape. I did change the inside curve of that back plate across the waist. I changed it slightly. I extended it to 24 inches to the side seam from the original pattern, which was for somebody smaller. But I do like this pattern, so I'll use it. Here's what we do. We fold the whole thing in half, where the center line is, so we'll do that. Get top center up here. I'll line up the corners on both sides and through one. Make sure the pin goes through the other in the same spot. That lines up nicely there. I'm going to pin this center at the bottom. So once we get it all pinned up and centered, then flip it around and lay it out this way so you can actually see all the lines. When it's lying flat, we can pin the whole thing together and just cut it out. Now, working with a big piece of material like this is a pain, but working with a large piece of material is a pain, but it allows for making larger projects like this. When I get this all pinned in, cut it out. Now here's something you might notice when I'm pinning. So I'll put my hand flat between or next to the pin. That's where the next pin goes, because that gives me a set measured distance, which in this case is roughly 6 inches. So the pins are set 6 inches apart. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but anywhere you can be consistent is good. It's useful to you. Do that again. less than 6 inches in both directions, so this will just be halfway, roughly. One on this end. We want the pins, you know, roughly 6 inches apart, but also anywhere there's a corner. Keep everything flat, everything even, the corners lined up for making it even side to side. I have these yellow-headed pins. I did not buy these. There's actually a story behind this. Many moons ago, I was gifted these pins by a customer. It was a very good customer. He ordered 2 different trench coats, one in steampunk pirate style and one in sci-fi style, as well as several smaller pieces. This was, as I said, this was long ago and far away, you know, like sometime after the dinosaurs, but before the French invented syphilis. And I still have photos of these pieces, and I wish I had kept in contact with this guy, because he was a great guy to hang out with. But, yeah, he disappeared from the scene. And I keep these pins. I haven't bought any to replace them, because I haven't needed them yet, even though some of them, after the, 11 years or so, some of them are starting to get kind of bent up. Twisty and angly and what have you. I'll keep using them. You don't give up on a gift, especially a gift from somebody you respect. Okay, I'll cut that, and then I'll come back and show you the next part. Next piece we're doing is the fronts. There's a fully cut out back plate. All nice and pretty. You can see, because it's a more fitted shirt, it's not a Hawaiian shirt, there's going to be a fold in the back there, a little pleat, because this is going to be wider than the bottom of the yoke, which is fine, because that's how it's supposed to work. It allows more movement across the chest and the chest and the armpits and such, but keeps it straight across the shoulders. So, measuring this now, we're going to have to extend it a few inches this way at the bottom and add that curve in, which is just drawn on. Let's just add that in. And we're going to have to extend it by 2 inches this way to allow for the fold for the button row. Okay, I'll chalk that in, do the additions, and then cut it out and show you what one looks like. Actually, no. I'll chalk in one, fold it, and then cut 2 at the same time. How's that sound? The sleeves, which you have to extend by a few inches from the pattern. So we get the back, we got that pleat folded in for where it's going to be, right there. And we got the front. We got the 2 pieces, left over right, so it's a shirt, and they're just sitting on the dummy loosely. But all in all, it's going to make an interesting looking shirt. I think it looks good anyway, but then, you know, I got shitty taste. So, the plan is, we lay out each sleeve, like so. Trace it in, well, measure out, mark the extension we got to make down here, and then trace it with chalk and then cut it out. I could fold it lengthwise after I get this in there, because I don't want to waste any material, you know. So do this, maybe fold it lengthwise, maybe just flip the pattern over and trace it a second time. Not sure yet. Anyway, once I get them cut and pinned up on the mannequin, I'll show you. So, I cut the sleeves basically hanging down there. I cut the yoke, pinned them all up in place. So we got everything except the collar roughly where it's supposed to be. Right now it looks, you know, considering the texture of this material, the look of this sitting there like that, I'm thinking if I had enough, I'd have made a suit jacket, a blazer out of it instead. That actually looked pretty good for, you know, going to fall fairs and whatever, since I'm in a small town. But as it stands, it's not bad. Not too bad all told. So, next step, I'm going to be cutting the last 4 pieces, which are the collar. And once those are cut, lay them out, trim them, cut them, same as last time. Once those are done, I will start serging everything. So you saw me lay out and cut the collar last time, I think, so I don't have to show you that again. Okay, that should do it for right now.